Hey, what's going on there, everybody? E3 2015 is only a few weeks away, and decided to go over, make this quick video to talk about a few games that I'm excited for, some speculated games, some confirmed games. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. The first game that I want to talk about is the big one, the big wallop that was announced this morning was Fallout 4. The trailer itself looked pretty badass. I played Fallout 3 a little late in its life cycle, probably about a year and a half ago, the Game of the Year edition. It was kind of crazy. I was sort of on a post-apocalyptic binge. I was watching like a lot of movies and TV shows that have post-apocalyptic settings, such as like I Am Legend. Mainly the main movie that I got hooked up on was The Road, which was a very gritty-ass movie, but was also set in a post-apocalyptic scene. So I was looking up all these videos about what games people thought were like the best post-apocalyptic worlds, and sure enough, Fallout and Fallout 3 and basically the Fallout series in general was at the top of most people's lists. So I picked it up, and I gotta say, I loved every second of it. And just seeing this trailer sort of brings back memories. I sort of want to play it again right now. The trailer is very interesting. You see sort of like a before and after effect as dogs sniffing through the house, and you see things before that lead up to the nukes actually falling from the sky, to the aftermath where everything's already in ashes and destroyed. So I wonder if there's going to be like flashback scenes, or maybe go back in time, or maybe like relive memories. I'm not really sure what's going on. There seems to be a dog now. I don't know if he's your companion or it was just part of the trailer, but maybe he's like a certain type of companion for you. He'll go inside of like maybe like shopping malls or whatnot, sniff out enemies for you, maybe bark at them, call them out, so like they're not sneaking up on you from behind or something like that. They could be pretty cool. They also showed some sort of airships and blimps flying through the air. I don't know if you're going to be able to control them or not, but it definitely looked pretty cool. I definitely got like a Skies of Arcadia feel from it. So that's something to be looking out for. And I don't know if it's like confirmed at this point. I assume it is, but apparently people are saying that your main character is voice acted. You actually have a voice this time, not just like dialogue and whatnot, which sounds pretty cool. Troy Baker is apparently linked to that, so that's something to be looking out for. The only one negative that I have to say about Fallout 4 is that I know, and I'm looking forward to, that is, to Bethesda's press conference, and they're going to be over-embellished talk about Fallout 4, which they have all rights to do. The only thing I hope doesn't happen is Sony and Microsoft also sort of like circle jerk around Fallout 4, because that would get kind of repetitive. I hope that Sony and Microsoft have their own unique press conferences lined up. I mean, if they got a bundle for Fallout 4, go ahead and announce that and then move on, but please don't make this one big announcement. The entire E3 all about Fallout 4. Please have something lined up to show us gamers that Fallout 4 is not the only thing going on this year. It's the bee's knees, okay? I'm excited for it, but I want some other stuff as well, so. Mass Effect 4 is the next game I'm going to talk about. Everything I've heard so far is pretty cool. Everything that I've read so far, seems like they've gone back to the drawing board on the whole game, and they're trying to revamp it. At least that's what they're saying anyway. The game is apparently supposed to revolve around exploring. There's apparently a new enemy. I don't know if it's as bad as the Reapers or whatnot, but it's more on planet exploring and colonizing planets, I believe. I heard and I've read reports that the Mako is back, but it's more to an inept degree, I guess you could say. It definitely sounds interesting. I don't expect it to be out this year. In fact, it's pretty much guaranteed it's not going to be out this year. I heard it's still early in development. But I definitely expect to see some sort of trailer or, some sort of gameplay at least, or something like that. Something to show that where they're going with the game itself. So that's something to be looking out for. Mass Effect 4, definitely a game I'm looking forward to. The next one is sort of a rumored game. It's not really been confirmed at this point, although I do expect it to be, or at least something up its alley, is Ni no Kuni 2. Ni no Kuni 2 was, probably roughly a year ago, was like rumored to be in development for the PlayStation 4. The only reason that was is because Level 5 developer came out on Twitter and said that they had another Sony exclusive, PlayStation 4 exclusive, that they're working on. And somebody asked him, was it Ni no Kuni 2? And he sort of, I don't know if he trolled him or what, but he's like, yeah, you're right, it's Ni no Kuni 2. He's like, you're right. And Ni no Kuni 1 was definitely one of the better JRPGs that I've played in a long time. If I had to explain what type of game it was to somebody who hadn't played it yet, I would probably say it's a cross between Dragon Quest series and some of the Tales of games, such as Tales of Vesperia type games. Some have even gone so far as to compare it to Pokemon, which I can understand. You collect the Pokemon and monsters, and even the monsters themselves go through a stage of metamorphosis, evolution, if you will, once they hit a certain level. So Ni no Kuni 2, if they announce it, that'll be fucking cool. That'll be awesome. There is confirmed at this point that Level 5 is working on a game. We just don't know what it is yet, so I'm assuming it's Ni no Kuni 2. Staying on that same graphical style, I'm going to go with another game called Rime. This was a game that was announced last year's E3, and it just sort of fell off the face of the earth, and I haven't heard anything about it yet. Like a release date, another gameplay trailer, nothing, and that is Rime. Definitely a game I was looking forward to. I expected to hear a lot more of it by now. It's been a whole year, and haven't heard a damn thing. Assuming we're going to hear something more about it. I hope it didn't get canceled or thrown out of the water. I believe the original updates to it were that there was no fighting in the game. It was more of a puzzle-solving game. So I wonder if they went back to the drawing board and added in enemies or something like that, where you have to fight. I don't know what's going on. But the game itself looks pretty cool. There seems to be a day and night cycle. Maybe you even yourself control the day and night cycle. There appear to be these weird optical Bioshock-looking things creeping out of the water and whatnot. So it's definitely interesting. I hope we hear a lot more on that. Alright, so I got some Wii U love coming up, and that is, the first game I want to talk about is Pokken Fighters, which is essentially just what it sounds like, a Pokemon tournament fighter, where you fight with Pokemon, which sounds cool in itself. There was a PC Pokemon fighter game, wasn't necessarily official, but it was definitely, I know people downloaded it a lot of Poke players here on YouTube played it, and it was pretty good for the most part. This one, I think they've announced Suicune. Gengar was one that I thought was really cool. He was shadow punching and shit. Machamp, definitely somebody I'm going to be playing with. 1,000 punches in 5 seconds. It was pretty cool. I think they've announced so far, they've announced Machamp, Pikachu. If Hitmonchan ain't in the game, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Or Hitmonlee, for that matter. Gardevoir, Suicune, and there's one other person. Oh, Lucario. From what I understand, the game will more than likely not come out this year. Apparently it's going to go to arcades first if it's not already out. I'm not sure. But I definitely expect to hear some more about it at least from this year's, at least Nintendo's year's E3. So be on the lookout for that. The next game is Shin Megami Tensei X Fire Emblem. Wow, that's a mouthful. I hope they narrow that that name down a little bit. The trailer was alright, and I thought it was okay. I thought it was more on the Persona feel than it was Fire Emblem. I didn't really get a Fire Emblem feel at all for it. It looked more like a Shin Megami Tensei game. And maybe that's the vibe they're going for. But I kind of thought I expected a little bit of both worlds, you know. I don't really know what they're going for. In fact, I was kind of more excited about the other announcement from Fire Emblem. It's called Fire Emblem If, where they're doing sort of a Pokemon type thing, where it's a light version and a dark version. And it's same story told from different sides of the view, different points of view, you know? And definitely, Fire Emblem Awakening was definitely one of my favorite games, and is to this day one of my favorite games on the 3DS. And to hear that they came out with a sequel for it is definitely very exciting. So I'll be on the lookout for that. Xenoblade Chronicles X is the next game I want to talk about. Not really so much as the game itself, because I'm already excited for that. Xenoblade Chronicles was one of my favorite games of last generation in general. The only thing I really want to hear about Xenoblade Chronicles X is a bundle for America and Europe. They have one in Japan. It's what the hell? No love for the West? Bring it out, Nintendo. Wii U. Bundle. Xenoblade Chronicles X. Make it happen. And finally, the last game that I want to talk about is a game that, by the time I was making this video, was just rumored. In fact, a couple sources have stated it by now. Is Dark Souls 3. And when I first heard it, Dark Souls 3, I was like, man, aren't we done with this Dark Souls by now? Why can't they come out with another Souls game, another spiritual successor? I also read in the article that Hidetaka Miyazaki is going to be the director again, which I thought could be very interesting, because I loved Dark Souls. That's probably one of my favorite games of all times. I liked Dark Souls 2. I thought it was okay, but it definitely had a different feel to it. I thought they improved on a lot of stuff, but there was definitely, I don't know if it felt like a Souls game, but it didn't feel like it at the same time. I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys, but that's just the vibe I got to it. If they do announce another Souls game, because they usually come out every 2 years now. Demon Souls came out in 2009. Dark Souls 2 came out in 2011. We just got Bloodborne, but that's not a Souls game, really. I mean, it feels like it, but it's not really a Souls game. Dark Souls 2 came out the beginning of 2014. So it's about two and a half year cycle. So they're probably, if anything, going to do an announcement trailer just showing, like, I doubt gameplay, but maybe like what they did for the Video Game Awards back for Dark Souls 2, just so like a cinematic trailer, maybe? I don't know. I really hope it's not Dark Souls 3. I hope it's something like Devil's Souls, Dragon Souls, or don't even have to stick with the D word, just Abyss Souls, or, you know, not even the word Souls. I mean, they could do the Souls part, but just something. I kind of think Dark Souls has sort of lived its course. It'll go on. It's gaming. It doesn't have to be continued. So, I mean, if it is Dark Souls 3, I guess I will do a separate video for that after it's announced, but for the most part, I hope they do a different type of series, maintaining the Souls name, but just not Dark Souls. Something else. Anyway, that's pretty much the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any games that you think I left out or you think I should check out, go ahead and leave it in the description. I'll check them out, and that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye-bye.